Two-step inequalities. You're going to notice yet again, two-step inequalities are going to look very similar to two-step equations. Again, the only difference and the thing that you need to remember is anytime you're multiplying or dividing by a negative, you're going to flip the inequality sign. So you can see all the notes look exactly the same. Went ahead and included a little cheat sheet for you right here about what the inequality symbols mean. You should be familiar with them already at this point. The thing to remember is you're approaching this exactly like a two-step equation, except you got to pay attention to the sign. Multiply or divide by a negative, you're going to flip it. So let's go ahead and go through some of them and see if we can spot that. Okay, so I'm going to start with my addition subtraction first and then do the inverse of that. So -4, I'm going to do +4. That creates a zero pair. -3c is greater than or equal to -6. Now this looks like a multiplying, dividing, one-step inequality. So once we get done with one of the steps in a two-step, it turns into a one-step. So -3 next to a c means we're multiplying by -3, which means we're going to divide by -3. This is what you need to be looking for. We're dividing by a negative right now. So c is going to be less than or equal to +2. This is one of the problems that you would flip the sign because we divided by a negative right there. Try to get rid of 3 positives by taking 3 away from both sides, or adding 3 negatives, however you'd like to think of creating a zero pair. -5n is less than or equal to +5, and this is the step where we're sitting there going, okay, are we going to be multiplying or dividing by a negative? Because that's going to flip the sign. Multiply or divide by a negative. Looks like we're dividing by a negative, so that means n is going to be greater than or equal to -1. Again, you can see we flipped the sign because we divided by a negative right there. Let's keep going. Get rid of 2 positives. We're going to take 2 away, or add 2 negatives, however you'd like to think of creating a zero pair. 2j is going to be greater than or equal to 6, and number next to a letter means multiply, so we're going to have to dividing. Divide by 2, divide by 2. J is greater than or equal to 3. Notice I didn't have to think about flipping a sign or anything like that, but this would be the spot right here that I would talk about. Do we flip the sign or not? All right, we divided by a positive, so nothing changes. -8, -8. +8, take away 8, or adding 8 negatives. They cancel each other out, creating a zero pair. We have 6y is less than or equal to -6. A number next to a letter, 6, next to y, means multiplying 6 and y. Inverse of that would be dividing by 6. And this is sitting there going, okay, hold on. Are we dividing by a negative? And the answer is no. We're dividing a negative. We're not dividing by a negative. So -6 divided by 6, -1. So you can see right here, that's the crunch spot. That is going to be the place where we say, do we flip or do we not flip?